Expedition 33 has just sold over 4.4 million copies, another success for a relatively small game, and it's absolutely fantastic. So we've been getting a lot of good sales reports for these smaller games, not just coming from Expedition 33, but also Silksong, which just came out and broke records across the board, being another absolute success. This year has just been really good for smaller games. I did post a little bit about this on my Twitter, but as well, I have loved this year of gaming, man. This year has just been so good for us gamers. We've been feasting. But more importantly, of course, these smaller devs have been feasting this year. This has been an excellent year for smaller developers. And I really think this is a good highlight to show that AAA games can't keep getting away with broken releases. You know who I'm talking about. This year has just been excellent all around, but specifically with smaller games, I think 2025 really shows that gamers care more about quality than just your typical quantity. I also almost forgot to mention Split Fiction that came out earlier this year. That also was for a while a contender for Game of the Year, but now it's looking like my favorite Clay Obscure Expedition 33 might take it this year. Hopefully this video ages well, but that just tells you just how good we've been feasting with smaller games and AA games and indie games in general. I'm trying to pull up the list here because for the most part, it looks like we have small games contending for Game of the Year, or at the very least the majority being smaller games. I am aware that Ghost of Yotei is coming out, Silent Hill F is coming out, and of course we also have Death Stranding 2 that came out this summer. Those are pretty blockbuster games, but honestly I don't think they're going to win Game of the Year. I think this time we're going to get a smaller game to knock it out of the park. Kind of like how Baldur's Gate and Astro Bot kind of came out of nowhere, kind of like the dark horse of gaming, and basically took Game of the Year by storm. So I think we're going to see that again this year, basically 3 years in a row with a surprise contender to take the Game of the Year. So as we can see here, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, that also came out this year, a smaller game. That's probably going to be a good contender for Game of the Year as well. There's been a lot of hot debates about what's going to win. That's going to be a contender, a smaller game, basically came out of nowhere. And guess what? It's not a super blockbuster AAA Call of Duty style game. When I say that these smaller indie or AA games are doing so well this year, that is an excellent thing. This is all great things. It's more creative, and more importantly, it shows that this industry pushing for $80 or $90, again, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. This is really, really good news and just great to hear. I know this is a bit of a shorter topic to talk about, but I really want to talk about it just because of the fact that, of course, many of these games I've enjoyed and loved this year have been smaller. And that's why also I've been stepping back a little bit from Call of Duty and these bigger games in general, is because I've been expanding my horizons. And it's been going well. It's been going really well with checking out these other games. I've been very happy with Expedition 33, and I've been also pretty happy checking out some of these other games, like Kingdom Deliverance 2. These games have been great, and Split Fiction, also great game for multiplayer. Really great that it's doing well, and as well as Silksong that just came out. That game is absolutely crazy. I know people are in love with that. It's personally not my style of game, but I'm just happy it's doing well, because that tells us that the industry is going to be thriving with smaller games that aren't pushing $80 or $90 or microtransactions out the ass. These are games that are actually having passion put into them. Now, of course, that's not to say that these bigger games don't have passion put into them, and of course have impressive technical feats. Like I said, Death Stranding 2, absolutely gorgeous to look at, but as an actual game, it doesn't push as much forward as some of these smaller projects do. I feel that a lot of these smaller projects, what they do with smaller teams or smaller budgets, is come up with more creative storytelling. And that's what we get with these games. And that's why this year especially has been one where we've been seeing these new and different style of games come out more and more, instead of more of the same, more typical open world games. Like I said, this is why games are doing really well, is because they can be different. And that's why I've been absolutely loving them. Oh, and since I've been recording this, we've gotten some more information from the man, the myth, the legend, Randy Pitchford, on how it's your fault that the game doesn't run at 4K 120, even though most people just want to play the game on PC. How is this for you? The fact that your game's not doing so hot on PC. You can have all the players you want. Bad word of mouth does not encourage, first of all, it doesn't encourage a healthy gaming environment. And secondly, it also just shows that you do not care about your players. This has been going on since Borderlands 3, but man, I just have to bring it up again, because this year we've seen so much positivity from, first of all, the Expedition 33 team, and how their music has been absolutely fantastic. The fact that they're doing so much with that is absolutely incredible. They've been very positive, and not just selling a ton of copies, but also just being very friendly with players. And now we're seeing this, man. Like, Randy, come on, dude. You have a good game here, and instead of apologizing for a piss-poor launch as always, you double down on it? Why? I don't understand. I truly don't understand, man. It just shows that when you're at that level of greed, it doesn't do anything for gaming. It just makes you seem more like an asshole. It makes people just turned off from playing your game. Why is it the player's fault? It's never the consumer's fault that your game is unoptimized or doesn't work, okay? This is a bit of a side tangent here, but I have to break it up because when smaller game devs can actually have smooth launches, I know Expedition 33 on Unreal 5 had some issues on PC, but they didn't ignore it, and they also never said it was the consumer's fault, okay? The team at Sandfall has never blamed anybody for issues that might happen on PC, and neither has the team for Kingdom Deliverance 2, neither has anyone on Split Fiction as far as I'm aware. These teams have all taken responsibility, and they were rewarded with good word of mouth and sales. You have the sales part, but word of mouth, this game is not doing hot, and I don't expect any nominations at the awards this year. Maybe Best Action Game, okay? I believe Borderlands 3 or Borderlands 2 might have won one of those. But regardless, man, you gotta learn when to cool it, man. Cool it. Just take responsibility, fix your fucking game, and make it optimized. That is the huge issue that happens with these bigger games is unoptimization and then blaming consumers, acting like it's the consumer's fault. It is never our responsibility to fix a game that you made. You made the game. Our responsibility is to play it, check it out. That's all we have to do. Load in the game and check it out. It's not our responsibility for you to make a finished product. You have to make a finished product first for us to play it. It's not the other way around where we have to show you when the product is finished. You need to have it finished for us to play. Alright, side tangent over. I apologize for that, but man, it's just like, when you play these smaller games and you just see how much love and passion's put into them, and you see how much effort they put into these games, and you just see the level of detail and the character work and just how happy the teams are. You can see how they're smiling and how they're all having a great time. And then you go to corporate that makes these AAA games that are just so asinine for people to develop and play with any source of optimization. It's just no. It really just drags, and it's not. No, man, just no. Okay, just it doesn't help anyone if you're gonna release something and then blame us. Okay, not just going for Randy at this point, but for the entire gaming industry, AAA. It's not the player's fault that you can't release an optimized game in Big 25. Unreal Engine 5, for whatever you think of it, can work in certain situations. We have seen some optimization it can work. With Expedition 33, I want to bring up like a third time in this video. That game is on Unreal Engine 5 and runs just fine now. And even at launch, it still ran pretty good. It wasn't, completely great on PC, but it wasn't nearly this bad that we're seeing where the developers are straight up telling you, yeah, get a better PC, bro. It's not our fault that you want to play at 4K, 144 hertz. Yeah, it's completely your fault. No, we're not seeing that with them. So it is possible to make it work. And instead, you just want to blame it on consumers, I guess. I guess it's our fault. No, yeah, guys, it's our fault that we want to play a game that actually functions. Yep, it's our fault. Please give us $70. And if you work for Gearbox, please give us $80. Because if you're a fan, you'll find a way. You'll find a way. Yeah, man, I'm sick of these developers, man. I'm just so happy of this. Any passionate devs, even if for a AAA game, like I said, Ghost of Yotei looks very good. Death Stranding looked pretty good. So, developers can be passionate anywhere, but I just love seeing these development teams. They just look so passionate, and they've clearly been putting the passion and the work this year. So this has been a great year for them, and I can't wait to see more. But that's all I have to say for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, please hit that like button and subscribe. I could always use a new addition to the Dark Ops army. And let me know what your favorite game is of this year. What's your game of the year? Is it still not out yet? And if not, what game are you waiting for that you might think might be game of the year? Personally, me, I've already set mine. But let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Dark Ops. I'll see you guys in the next one.